Okay, I needed to restart the video because for some reason it would not load. So I'm going to wait for a few minutes to see if everybody finds me. I'm hoping you will. But, well, it wasn't behaving well. Hey, Beth. Well, it's just my foot hurting mostly. It'll it'll be better soon. No sound? Okay, let's see if I can figure out what's going on here with that then. I hope that's better. That's the only thing I can adjust. So hopefully that got the sound going. So anyway, we're going to work on this necklace we were working on last Friday and see if we can get it finished. Oh, I should have got me a... I'll get it in a bit. You've got sound and Heather hears me? Then if you're still without sound, Beth, check your sound. You might be out of sound. You might have it turned down. So we're working on this necklace we started last week on last Friday. And we're going to see if we can get it finished today. We're making a 2-strand necklace. I was thinking choker, but it's 18 inches, so it just may stay. Well, that was the outer loop, so the inner loop is going to be a little smaller. So we got to finish beading it up, and then we will do up our pendant. Anyway, as I was saying, the original video for some reason would not start. Every time I'd hit the start button, to go live, it wouldn't go. So anyway, why I am on this time instead of my normal time, and Heather took my normal time, is because I had a doctor's appointment this morning. My heel of my foot started bothering me a lot over the weekend. So I called the doctor's office and they said they could get me in at 10 o'clock if I could make it in. And I'm like, yeah, I'm making it in because I hurt. And so I talked to Heather and she said she would move her time frame up so we could switch time frames, and instead of me just not being on at all today. So that is what happened, and it turned out I thought I had gout coming back because I've had it in the past, but it's been many years since it's really bothered me, though I did have a spot of problems when I had my knee replacement. But that one turned out to be some neuropathy because of nerve damage from my knee surgery. So they did give me medication for that. We got it all taken care of. It was back, but this felt almost the same. So I was thinking, oh, what's going on? So I went to the doctor and they said that it wasn't gout. It was and it wasn't neuropathy, but rather it was tendonitis. And he asked me what I did to myself. And I'm like, I don't know. Hi, Angel. I'm at that age where I can sneeze and hurt myself in some way. So he laughed about that, but he said, so anyway, and then my thumb's been bothering me. I don't know if you can see the weird flex it does every once in a while here. That is, he said, was the sheath that controls your. It's almost like like carpal tunnel in your wrist. Well, it's carpal tunnel sort of a thing in my thumb. There's a sheath that goes through your thumb to control your joint there, and apparently I have developed a nodule inside of it, and that's what's causing that. And then I thought, well, why I'm here. When I had my kidney infection, I had developed a couple of welts on my side, and I thought it was just because I was wearing sweatpants and I'd probably got like a piece of metal or something in the band from when I was working. And so I'd caused some welts. And he said, "Are they healed all the way up?" And I said, "No, there's still little spots." And he said, "Well, let's see what they look like." So I showed him, and he said, he said, "That's not a welt, that's shingles." I'm like, "What? I've never had shingles in my life." He says, "Well, you've got them now." But he says, if you got those when you had your kidney infection, it's probably on the way out, so you don't really have to worry about it. They're gonna be gone in a week or two. And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's good." I was like, "I didn't even know I had shingles, but if you say so, I'll take your word for it." So anyway, that's why I wasn't on this morning. Why Heather took over for me was because I was not feeling. I had to go to the doctors, and I'm not sure. Yes, she did find me. So I wasn't sure if you guys refound me after the internet decided to be a little bugger and give me problems, but it looks like everybody has, so that's good. Um, this this necklace may have a bigger gap than I had originally wanted because I think we need to take off the last few beads on the one side that we did get finished of our second strand, and we need to do we're going to go up and finish up our stranding, and then we're going to start putting it together. And in doing that, we will have to work on our, well, they say it's a moonstone. I was thinking it looks more like a little sunstone, but I think it might be a moonstone, peach moonstone. So anyway, I know I haven't said hi to a lot of folks, so let's do that. Let's see who we all have. We have Beth and Anita, Heather, Donna, Sid, Angel, Carolyn. So hello, all you ladies. And Dorothy's there too. So yeah, we have a few folks on, so that's cool. And like I said, my doctor said my foot is tendonitis. It's going to have to heal itself up. But one of the things he said is, your daughter had shingles out of nowhere. Well, I guess I did too. So, so yeah, he says they're about healed up. So, should only be another week or two and they'll be gone. But he just took one glance at him and he says, "That's shingles." And I'm like, seriously? Okay. But I said, "But it was only these two big welts." And he says, "Yeah, that's all it has to be." So anyway, and then he told me I needed to wear my Birkenstocks around the house from now on because the arch support and the form of the Birkenstocks would help help the tendonitis, and it would keep me from getting it again, hopefully. So anyway, let's turn down. We will finish beating up this one side. I'm going to put a slider clasp on these, a two strand slider clasp on this, so that will help us. Yeah, didn't help, did it? Because it showed up like less than a week after my kidney infection showed up. So it certainly didn't help my kidney infection any. But he did tell me that was actually the kidney infection didn't cause the shingles or vice versa. It was just a coincidence that they showed up at the same time. But it wasn't a coincidence I was appreciative of. But anyway, so so anyway, it might have helped. It might have kept it from healing up as fast as it should have, because it did take almost a month for it to heal instead of the 2 weeks that he expected it would take. So, hi, Linda. I should get a shingles injection. Oh, I probably should, but I have never had them before. This was the first time, so it was sort of a shock when he did tell me that that's what it was. Now, my daughter, she's a CNA, and she had looked at it and she said, "Mom, that looks like shingles." I'm not sure it is, but it does look like shingles. And then she said, "So keep away from me." She has never had chicken pox, and shingles is apparently from the same I wouldn't specifically call it a germ but anyway, it lives in your body apparently, and after you have chickenpox, and it can pop up in and be shingles rather than chickenpox. And she's never had chickenpox, and she's in her late 40s. Yep, the same virus. And so she's never had chickenpox. So she said, I think that shingle mom, so stay away from you. So stay away from me. I don't want to get it. So it was actually sort of funny. But I said, but she said, it's sort of weird that it's only in these two welts, which were just one right over the top of each other, and they weren't anywhere else. It wasn't anywhere else. And she thought it should have been somewhere else, but my doctor said no. Shingles go shingles pops up along nerve lines, so that's where it was sitting on you, was just on those nerves right there by your hip. And so I thought it was pretty funny. It's very painful and can be dangerous to your health. Yes, yes. It was painful. Like I said, it was just showed up at first as these two big purpley pink welts. And hi, Cynthia. And so I thought, like, I would have been wearing sweatpants because my kidney, I didn't want to put anything tight around my side because my kidney was hurting anyway. So I was wearing sweatpants, and I figured I'd just knocked a piece of flying, end of a pin into my sweatpants waistband, and had scratched it up, and that's what caused it. That's what I figured. Well, obviously it wasn't that, but that's what I figured it was when it first showed up. And then the big welts turned into scabs, and the scabs are more or less gone, and the big welts are more or less gone. They're now, instead of big, they're just teeny little spots like this. But he recognized it right off. He said, "Yeah, that's shingles." And yes, I have heard it can be brought on by stress. And since it came on when I had my kidney infection, that quite possibly could have been what brought on the stress that brought that on. Oh, Mary, you keep getting thrown off? I'm sorry to hear that. Well, it's weird because when I started this, when I went to go live, it popped off and it wouldn't come back on. And that's why I had to start us over again. And I wasn't real happy with that. So yeah, I can imagine that she was, because mine turned from hurting all the time to itching, and that's what it still does, is it itches, and I imagine that's because it's scabbed over, but mentally and physically, yeah, probably was. Anyway, so yeah, and then I've got, then the heel pain is tendonitis, and like I said, the doctor said, "What'd you do?" And I said, "Got me. I got no clue." And I laughingly said, "Well, I'm at that age that all I got to do is sneeze wrong, and I've hurt myself." but he laughed and said, "Well, you are getting uh, at an age where you can get hurt more easily. You get hurt more easily." So, but I was like, whatever. But he did tell me, he then said, "When you walk around your house, do you walk barefoot, in socks, or in shoes?" And I went, "Barefoot." And he says, "You see those Birkenstocks you have on your feet right now? Wear those around your house. It will protect your feet to a degree." But I don't like wearing shoes. I don't look that old. I'm 68, Linda. We have good genes in my family. But so anyway, so anyway, that's what he told me to do. Hi, Brandy. How's it going? Archies. I assume that's sort of the same thing. Birkenstocks have a pretty deep arch. And so 68 isn't old. No, it's not that old. I mean, my mama is 95. Well, though my poor mama just got stuck in the nursing home. She fell out of bed and broke her hip. The doctors decided she was in good enough health and everything that they could do a hip replacement. They did. And even though he said she came through her surgery in flying colors, she didn't come through her PT in flying colors. She was not doing good. And then they finally sent her home from the hospital after that, and she had a stroke. So the doctors told my sisters that lived down near her and had been taking care of her since she had her hip replacement, that she was going to have to go into a care facility. So they did put her in a care facility, but she seems to like this care facility, so that's good. But yeah, my mom is 95. So I actually had a picture of her around here somewhere that I could have shown you, but I don't have it. I'm not sure where I put it. But so yeah, we have good genes. Archie's just look just like thongs. Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure it was, Carolyn. I'm sure it was pretty hard on her to have her hip replaced, but anyway, and I am number 4 as far as the kids are concerned. There are 6 of us. We're all girls, and I'm number 4. So I have 3 older sisters. So, what we call flip-flops or thongs. Yeah. I grew up calling them thongs, but my husband always calls them flip-flops. So, same thing. But anyway, let's turn down. We'll get finished stringing this other side. I think we're going to have to take some beads off of this other side, but we'll work on that when we get to that point. And then we'll start, we'll put it on the clasp, and then we'll have to do the little, I'm the baby. Who's the baby? I'm not the baby. I'm not the baby. In my family, I have 2 younger sisters. I am number 4 in line of 6. So, tell them how I started beading. I started beading because in my household, my parents would give us a specific amount of money, and we were told we had to make something for Christmas for our sisters. So I first started out by making them bracelets and then bookmarks, and then but that's how I started beading, was because we had a bead store nearby. So I went up and bought all kinds of beads, and I started making bracelets and things for my sisters. And I still make them jewelry or something of that sort for Christmas, like this year. If you were on, I made them bookmarks and earrings that match their little bookmarks that I just mailed off today. They should get them soon. So I usually make them earrings. We're all earring people. Mary, you're feeling like you're the oldest at 75. If Mary McMahon was on, which I don't think she is, but I believe Mary is 80. I could be wrong, but I think she is. So. So, yeah, exactly, Mary. I'm the same way. And sometimes I look in the mirror and go, who is this chubby old person? When is my birthday? It's in August. So, let's see. I have my oldest sister is September, the end of September. The next one's May. Next one's January 1st. As a matter of fact, she was the second baby born that year. She missed that first one for a while, by just a few minutes. I'm August, my next sister, and then the youngest 2 are February, and their birthday is the same day, but they are 4 years apart. And the sister just younger. She's only 18 months younger than I am. We're pretty close in age. And hi, Debbie. And and I'm a Leo, yes. Anyway, um my next to the youngest sister, her my youngest sister was born on her fourth birthday, and she informed the lady that we were staying with while my mom was in the hospital that she thought that was a really crappy birthday present. so so yeah, there are 6 of us all spread out in age, and my next oldest sister from me is 3 years older. Then I think it's 2 years and then about 18 months between the top two. So we're pretty spread out. But when is my birthday? It's the 9th of August. So let's turn down and we'll get started finishing this beading on this necklace, or we're not going to get it done. We've been on for over 20 minutes now. So we've been talking about my health problems and why I was later coming on than I'd thought I would be. But anyway, or I would normally be. Tomorrow, oh, that's another thing we need to talk about. Tomorrow I will be coming on at 8, 8 Mountain Time, but 9, because I will be taking over morning coffee slot because Randy starts her Christmas vacation tomorrow. Well, today was her last day, so officially tomorrow she'll be gone for at least 3 weeks. She usually comes back sometime between January 5th and January 15th. It depends on her mood. So I will be coming on earlier and at that time. I haven't spoken with Dorothy yet. We have talked about how we're going to do that because, as we all know, I usually go over my hour. And then Dorothy, I can't pronounce her last name, Inerarity, something like that, usually comes on, well, not on Mondays and Fridays, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she comes on at, it would be 9 o'clock my time, but it's 10 o'clock Central Time. So anyway, she comes on at the hour after. Oops. Looks like we froze for a second there. Looks like we're freezing again. Come on, behave. So anyway, and then Heather comes on after. It's usually Randy, Dorothy, me, Heather, because I tend to go over my hour by quite a ways, and so does Heather. We've popped us at the end. However, with me moving into Randy's spot, Heather was planning on moving into my spot. So I'm just either going to have to make sure that I keep it to an hour so I don't pop into Dorothy's time frame that she does, or, well, today I could because it's could have, and Heather could have because it's Monday, but Friday won't be an issue. But the other 3 days may. And I've thought that, well, I can just, if I don't finish the project, I can either pop in the end of everybody, come back for a second part after everybody else has completed their shows, or we can just have to do stuff, finish stuff up the next day, as opposed to me always trying to finish my my projects at the same time. Every on the day that we start them. But anyway, we're going to turn down, and I'm going to. What happened to beating besties yesterday? That was me, because I was supposed to be the guest, and my foot was really bugging me yesterday. So I asked Heather if that would be a problem if we refrained from doing it yesterday and moved it to moved it to this next weekend for us to be on together. And excuse me. She had done a live on Saturday. No, she did it Sunday because she wasn't feeling good Saturday. So she did her live sell on Sunday as opposed to Saturday. Then she cut off just in time to go watch her Broncos game. And then they had just won about the time we should have come on. And I contacted her and said, I really don't feel great. Do you mind if we postpone it till next week? And she said she hadn't really thought about it too much because the Broncos had just won and they were celebrating. So so that was my fault that Beating Besties wasn't on yesterday. So I suppose she could have come on without me, but she didn't want to. So anyway, let's turn down and we will start beading on our necklace here and see if we can't get it finished today. We'll see. So there we go. There's our necklace to where we stopped at, which was the midway point. But like I said, if you look up here, I don't know if you can see it. Let's pull it down. If it sits where I want it to sit, we've got too many beads. If we leave that on there, we're actually going to be way too much because then it makes the upper strand shorter. I mean longer than the lower one. And we can't have that. It would be a problem. So I probably will take off this little section here so that it's then brings that up there, which will leave a bigger gap down here towards the bottom than I wanted, but we may do that anyway. We'll see when we start hooking it together what it looks like. So we're going to dump our beads out here. And we're going to start beading this up on this side. And then, like I say, when I get everything on here, then we will I'm going to put the lower section onto my, oops, this one needs a trimming. I'll hook the lower section on because it's going to be where we want it. Then we're going to have to decide how much we need to take off to do our upper section here. Oops. Ah, cool. Heather says we're doing a pendant sale on Wednesday night. So that'll be fun. Well, I don't need that many because I probably only need a couple more left here, but that's all right. Now, I suspect this next section is going to come off, but I am going to put it on just to have there. And then when we get to the point where we have to adjust for length is when I will start pulling things off. So well, maybe we won't put it on because maybe the bead's not here. It's all right. We can stop right here because this is probably where I'm going to take it off from anyway. Where did that bead go? I know I had enough. Oh, well. Because here is our middle, and we're going to go up this direction. And we've got everything good. This is the extra beads that I'm pretty sure are extra right there. Though I do have one of these in here, so I can just put this on here. And you. The rest of these are going to be extras. So I'm just going to put them away. And then we may, if I decide I need them, then great. If not, then we'll just put them back in the box where they belong. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. You're going to be back in about 10 minutes? Okay. Okay, I missed some stuff, so let's see what I missed. So you have little birds that are flying into your windows? Oh, I would not like that. Because usually they hurt themselves when they do that. Poor little things. Come on. Cut more wire than I needed, which is better too much than not enough. We'll move this around some. Okay, this is our upper strand. This is our lower strand. Now let's measure these to see how long they ended up being. I know this one was not, the lower strand was 19, or I should say 9 inches, so making it 18. So hold the bail here because that's our middle point. And see, it's darn close to 9. So that's 18 inches. And then our orange bead here is our center bead here. So we'll go up here, and again, we're almost 9 inch. We are 9 inches. So this is the same length, bottom and top. So we can't have them be the same length. They need to be at least an inch different, or close to that. So we want to take at least a couple of beads off of this side. So I'm going to take them off right here at our little crystal, leave the little crystal on. But we'll still have to check to see how that's going to work when we put it onto our piece. So take those ones off. I want that spacer there off too. And I'm going to put all these things in. Well, we don't need to put the spacers in here. We'll put those up there. Put these in the baggie with the other stuff. So to get some gold crimps out, crimp tubes, which I think I have some sitting here. Those are gunmetal. Those are silver. All of those are silver. Wow, that's bizarre. There's gold, but there's only 2, but that'll start us out because we just need to put the we're going to put some loops on the end of these guys. Ouch. Hey, Georgina. Ouch. It's been ages since I've seen you. Oh, yeah. Ages is like half hour to an hour. I doubt if this will go into these pearls, but I'm going to give it a try. The pearls generally have small holes, the natural ones and the made ones. I don't know why when they make pearls they don't give them bigger holes. Oh, they're going to go through fine. Excellent. So glass pearls are a little better with holes than the other pearls, natural and that in the divot, squish, turn, squish. Okay, You guys move up on the string. I'm going to cut it right here. Move this guy over. I need some more beading wire, which is fine because I just won a $25 gift certificate to Softflex from when. I just glad I did that. There's a spacer missing right there. See? I missed my tiny daisy spacer right here. So, because I was putting this on to this side, I saw that. So we'll get the little daisy spacer out and get that fixed. Don't lose your pearl rose. Ooh. Boy, no dropsies, girl. That's not good to have dropsies. Now, because you need to have a little space here between your crimp and your tube and your next bead, I'm going to push this down like so, and then we're going to push this a little bit more because we've got that little gap where the wire's coming out there. And then I'm going to get my crimping pliers and get them there. Give it a squeeze. Now the same thing is going to try and move some, so I'm going to move it back a little bit more with my thumb and get that crimp in there. I'm going to cut this wire off so I can get in here a little better, and then we'll get up here and finish crimping. Now see how it left me a gap there? It's not that big of a deal. It's not a big gap, and if I was really worried about it, I could put a crimp cover on it. But you're going to need to loosen up a little bit anyway, so that's good. So I'm going to find my clasp, and we're going to take some gold Tinky Tots, and we're going to put this one on to my slider clasp. That's more than I need. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Anita. So I added the pearls and the spacers, but the rest of this stuff is from my time traveler kit. You know, all these beads here. But I thought they'd look really pretty with the white pearls, and I think that really does work with them. So let's see if I have one of my slider clasps beside me, or if I need to get into my clasp box. Well, I've got one, but it's a 3. We don't want 3, we need 2. So I will be right back as soon as I go get my clasp box. I don't think I have any right beside me here. Sometimes I do. I have all kinds of weird things beside me because I haven't put them away. But I need to put them away, but I haven't. So. You know, I started putting things away and I kept telling myself, you need to put everything away. You're now starting to get boxes and stuff for things, so you should put everything in their box when it comes. But of course I don't. Of course, I've ran out of shelf space for all my boxes, so these are the ones I use. These are slider toggles. They're $1.59 for the 2 from Beadbox Bargains. Anyway, when I bought these, they were. I don't know if they've changed the price at all. Get one out there. And what we're gonna, this is a slider clasp. You just pull these 2 pieces apart. There's a little magnet right here, so when you get it close, it'll plop right into there. You just got to get it close enough that it can slide together. So we're going to get this first one put on. Now it doesn't matter when you're putting this one on which side you go to, but your inner one will be the bottom one. So I am going to put this on the one closest to where it comes out at. Oop, come on, you let me get hold of it. Oh, stop. Do any of you guys live in Washington or Oregon? Or even Idaho? Because we've been, Selena's calling, you'll be back. Okay. There's been an atrocious lot of flooding going on, and we're even getting it now here in Montana. The next town over from us is actually cut off. All the bridges that are close to that town have washed out. So it's not a good thing. But hoping everybody in our group is all right where they're at. So anyway, this is going to pull off like this. And then we're going to put our inner strand. We'll go on these 2 here. So we need to see how this is going to go in here, if it's going to hang good when it's in here. So it will be like, okay, let's get you out of the way. So these are going to go on here and on here. I'm going to now this isn't going to be quite proper because this is not going to, I don't think it's going to go through my, yeah, well, this is, I'll just pull it out wherever because we're not going to have our jump ring on here. So it's not going to be quite right, but then it's not also going to be right because I've going to have this big gap. So what we're doing is I'm just seeing how this is going to look when this is on here. I'm not worrying about gaps in my beads right yet, as long as it's not a huge gap, because like I say, this is not where this is going to sit finally, because I don't have the it's not sitting properly. Oh, I think it'll be all right. It's going to be a little not as close as I was thinking it should be, but I think it'll be all right. You need to push down in there. There we go. So hang about like that. So I think that'll work. Thank you, Mary. Oh, that's too bad. Did I get this slider from Bebop's Bargains? It's Toggle 5972. It came in a package of 2 for $1.59. And I really like this kind if you're doing multiple either necklaces or bracelets. I've got them in the 2, and then I've got them in a 3 as well. Again, from Beatbox Bargains. Oops. Just caught my sleeve against my pliers I had sitting there. So anyway, that's what that is. It's Toggle 972 from Beatbox Bargains. Comes in a package of 2. Oh boy. This is true. Yeah, it's really bad. And it's raining again here. We had like about 10 inches of snow, and then it rained on top of that, and we had a major rain come through. In fact, we had broke rain records for one day, and that day was the day that it was raining on top of the 10 inches of snow we already had. Where is my gold trimp tubes? And so it's really, those are copper. Wait a second. Why do I have 2 things of copper down here? I don't generally. Huh. 2 coppers, 1 silver, and my gold are not here. Well, we're going to have to find those. There you are. What are you doing hiding back there? And there's a missing cherub. I knew I had one more cherub when I was making that sun catcher earlier. There's one of my chickens. Boy, I have everything back here hiding. Would you let me have my tube? Instead of coming forward, my tube is sinking back behind further, giving me all kinds of problems here. I know I saw it. Ah, there it is. Come here, you. That's what happens when you have all kinds of crud on your desk all the time. Of course, if I move it, then I won't be able to find it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we have our little town of between Kalispell and the next town down is Libby, and quite a ways away. Well, this is Montana. It's an hour drive to a lot of places, but it's probably about an hour and a half drive down to Libby from here. But Libby has all kinds of creeks and rivers running to it, and they've overflowed and taken out the bridges on both sides of town. And then there's one other way you can get up to Libby, which is from the little town called Noxon, which is from the south. The bridge between Noxon and Libby has washed out as well. And then Noxon is sort of cut off because it's had mudslides that have gone over the freeway. And the next town over from Libby is Troy, which is really close to the border of Idaho, which you could get out that way, but Sandpoint, Idaho is also flooding. So and they've had some mudslides on that road. So it's a major mess. And then, of course, I was originally from Washington State, and Washington, my friends from over there have been sending me pictures, and Washington, and my best friend from high school, her daughter lives down on the Oregon coast, and both of those are flooding as well. So it's not good. It's really bad. Yeah, that's true, Anita. There have been a lot of um, earthquakes, and a lot of the volcanoes are going off. Kilauea has been go in Hawaii has been going off for some time. Mount Rainier, which is a really big one in Washington State, has been having earthquakes. If that one goes, it's going to have some problems because it's very large and there's a lot of ice caps on it. So it would cause some major flooding if it goes. So it's yeah, the earth is pissed off. She's not Mother Nature's not happy at all, and bad things are happening all over the place. I think there's another volcano in Mexico that's getting ready to go if it hasn't already. And then there's that big one in the Philippines that went. Japan had a major earthquake the other day, and they have lots of volcanoes there too, so they could be having some there. There is one on the seafloor, a new volcano forming. That is, it's on the seafloor, and it's quite a few hundred feet away from, miles away from the coast, but it's getting pissy too, and it's starting to erupt. And sort of been wondering if we're going to have a new island. but all kinds of things going on in the world these days. As Anita says, the world seems to be pissed off. Yeah, now see, we are back up to higher temperatures and it's raining here, whereas we had a ton of, I bent that wire somehow. Oh, that's probably where I had it sitting across that. It'll straighten itself. We had, like I said, boy, did I bend that wire. I may, come here, you. Did I bend this side too? Yeah, I did. Little kink in it. Not too bad though. But let's see if I can get this kink out. If I can't, then I may just cut this print back off and move this to a lower, because we have plenty of wire. Oh, that's good. It's straightening. Well, I thought it was. It will. Flox flap. Soft flex will usually straighten if it gets crooked, but I'm going to make sure that this is where the bend is here. If I'm going to make sure that I think I will just crimp it below that bend and then on this side, and then maybe recrimp the other side with the crimp not there. The kink in the wire not there. Okay. I think the kink is about where I've got it bent right there now. but I think it'll work out of there, so it's probably fine. I'm just going to let it go. The kink will work out after time. It's a wonderful thing about soft flex. The kinks generally work out after a bit. Come on, you. Nope, this way. Get in here to do my crimp. Mailed off the package to my family down in Arizona today, and that crimp is a little bit too high, but I think it's too late now. Oh, nope, there we go. Okay. So now we get our crimp tubes out, put these guys on. High 20s. Isn't that awful cold for Myrtle Beach? Oh my goodness. So hail that was a meter deep. Wow, that's something else. So now we're going to put this one on. This, and it's going to go on right here. I keep expecting to get our thunder snow lately, with the weather as the way it has been. Thunder snow is, I think it's sort of cool. It's just like a lightning storm that has snow instead of rain. We get them here every once in a while, not more than 2 or 3 times a year, if even that, but it's pretty spectacular when it does happen. We're not closed all the way. There we go. Okay. So it's upper, this is lower. It's gonna fall together like so. Now we need to get our pendant put on. I need to put things away or I'm going to have a mess. Right now I'm just going to put these guys away for the time being, as well as some of the other stuff just to get them out of my way. We may use some, who knows? There's the 3 daisies. There's 3 daisy spacers still in here. This little cherub I used it on the sun catcher I had for Saturday's video. If you haven't seen that, I'll show it to you guys when we go back up again. But I put those in the wrong tube. I'll have to watch for those when I put them in the bronze tube instead of the gold tube. That's not good. But oh, that's half. I don't want half. I want square. Half. Boy, in general, I can't find half round, and I'm finding a ton of it right now. You enjoyed the video on Saturday, Carolyn? Thank you. That's true. That's very true, Linda. And especially, we had all kinds of environmental protections in place here in the States, and they have really been messing with those lately. So, which is just a sad state of affairs. I'm going to cut quite a bit of this 21 gauge square wire. Here's my and I'm cutting quite a bit because what I want to do is I'm going to get my twist out. Now it'll go through with the square. Hopefully it will still when I put the twist on it. But what I want to do with this is I need to straighten my toolbox up. It's getting all wonky over here. I'm going to take and twist the wire. Oh, come back here, you. And anyway, as I was saying, we had all kinds of environmental protections in place, and they've been really screwing with lately our environmental protections. It's not good. But so I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a little twist right here. But what I want to do, instead of what I would normally do, is I want to take and I want this to come around. Did I leave myself enough for it to do what I want? Barely. Okay, maybe I should straighten this one and use the other one because it's a little longer. So we'll take it, it's going to come down. I'm going to bring it down here. Come on, let it bend. There we go. Bring it around the edge like so. Bring it back up here. Probably going to have to fix this with my fingers in a minute, but what I want to do is have this wrap again around here. Go here. You can come up now. And then you're going to okay. And of course I got that too tight, so now it wants to sit differently than I want it to. Come on, I want you to go right around the edge of the stone like you would if I was wire wrapping you. Just sit right there. There we go. That's about what I want. Now this is going to have to form our loop right here. So I'm going to just and it's sliding out of place again, but we'll fix that in a minute. Trim that bit off and tuck it in. Where'd you go? Maybe it's already tucked in. Okay. So anyway, this little framelit here is is sort of mobile. It's not got anything really holding it to stay down like that. But and actually thought about putting a pearl up here in the top, but I didn't do it, so I feel a rough spot. Oh, there's that. Okay. Okay, now we're just going to jump ring this onto here. I think we can probably do it with a Tinky Tot. Let's see. Actually, I think I have two sizes in here. So let's go for the bigger one. And she's done. Oh, thank you. So there's our necklace. And let's turn up. I'll hold it up so we can see it. And then, oh, I know it's feeling sort of sharp still. Let's get, come here, come here, come here, come here. Squish you down a little bit. That's better. So let's turn up. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Dorothy. So here's our necklace. And then of course it's got the sliders, so it will just slide off and back on again. And I try it on to show you how close it is. Let's see if, oops, sorry about that. Obviously that nut's coming loose on my tripod again. I'm going to have to tighten that up. So, see, I have my bell on, or my watch on, but we can still. I really like that little watch. It's handy to have a watch. I don't usually have a watch, so okay, let's get this so it's sitting right. So it's a touch longer than choker size, but not much. It's closer than I actually like it on me, to be truthful. But it works nicely. but I need to back up so you can see. Or stand up, one or the other. So there's how it hangs, pretty close. But look, I've layered it with my watch. But that's what that baby looks like. All done. So oh no. Well, I'll hold it up here in just a sec. I take it back off and hold it up. There's the pendant. A little messy up here at the top. I like them a little neater than that, but it turned out all right. Yeah, I hate doing the tops. They always seem to bug the crap out of me because they always turn messier than I like, but it's not bad. I'm not too displeased with it. It turned out better than I thought. So there's our necklace. And now for the sun catcher that I made over the weekend that I had the Saturday video of, that is right here. It's a 5-bar one. So, and I put the little cupids from my Softlex kit onto it. So. Gumnut is Linda. You like that length? I like them a little longer because I don't like things really close to my neck, but I think that one turned out pretty nice. So anyway, our necklace turned out rather nice. The middle strand could have been a little bit longer, and it wouldn't have been bad to have it be a little longer, but it looks all right. The other piece that I just held up other than the necklace was a sun catcher I made. It was a recorded video that I did for the weekend. I do a recorded video on Saturdays. And so that's what that was my recorded video from Saturday, was the sun catcher. So necklace again. And did you want to see it again? I can hold the sun catcher up again if you'd like to see it again. You do want to see it again? Okay. I made this hanger that it's on. It was the first thing we did when I did this video. So we have just a bar hanger that I made with some, I think it was 16 gauge wire that I used to make it. It might have been 14. No, it was 14. And then the hook is also 14. So we just did the wire wrap up, just used bell making pliers. Then it has 5 separate strands of bead strands on it with crystals at the bottom. So lately, before this, I've been making sun catchers with 16 loop bangles. And we made this one using Thunder Horse Descendants Critter Christmas. I used the beaded chain that was in there, broke it every once in a while, and put the rice crystals that were in there in it. Then we brought it down to the middle for our piece here. And we've got one more going that I'm waiting for some pieces because I ran out of what I needed to finish it up. Let's see. As soon as those come in, which who knows, they could come up in as early as today, we'll finish it up. And so this one is birds and flowers. We've got yellow birds in my top tier, blue birds in my second tier, and we're working on red birds for the third tier. So we're just waiting on the red birds to come from. We're just waiting on the red birds, my next package of red birds to come from Beadbox Bargains, and we can finish the red bird sun catcher up. So well, they make a very pretty, they're going to be pretty in my sun catcher there, that's for sure. And I leaned back too much so you couldn't even see me there. So anyway, ladies, thank you for joining me and finishing off my necklace. I think it turned out quite nicely. I'm pleased with it. So and like I say, we'll finish the red birds up when the red birds come. We'll finish off that sun catcher there. But I wanted to do something a little different as far as the sun catchers were concerned, considering that we've done a lot of the ones with the circle band in the middle. I think that is like the third or fourth one. The bird one that we're working on is probably the third or fourth one of those. So it was time to make something a little bit different. And I do sometimes like to make my own pieces for them to hang on. I have made sun catchers as mobiles before and made 2 of the bars like that one. And then had the second bar hanging from where the middle, well, here, let's pull it down so I can talk to you a little better. Instead of putting in these strands here in the sides and this strand here, what I did was take it and make another bar and hooked it here so that it hung the other direction, and then put the other bead strands on it to make a sort of mobile. So it would go in 2 directions instead of just one. So I haven't done one like that for a while. When I made this one, I actually was considering doing that, but then I just decided now we'll just make a straight one. But anyway, ladies, it's been nice seeing everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early, since I will be doing Randy's spot. I don't know how we're going to handle that exactly as far as time frame is concerned, since I do tend to go over. I had thought that if I do go over, and I don't finish whatever I'm working on, but we do want to finish it that day, that I could pop in later in the day after the other ladies get done. We'll see what we decide to do. I may just do an hour like I have, but like Randy does, but we'll see. Anyway, ladies, it's been nice having you with me today. I am going to go and have some lunch, and then we'll see you all later. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. And I hope you all have a lovely day. And if there's anything in particular you would like me to make, then by all means just let me know, and I would be happy to do so. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.